Hey, thanks for tuning in. If you're new here and this is the first time you've joined the Gary Abbott channel, welcome. Like and subscribe if you end up liking this video or it gives you any kind of help in your moving forward with a new home in the Villages. Now, this video will help new purchasers of brand new homes from the Villages. It also will help people who have already purchased in at least taking a second look at what the features of your home is and what you might want to purchase. So this is something that I waited a long time. I have never done, I'm always like a first. I've never done this type of video, and it's taken me some time because I wanted to get used to what you get at the Villages with my own home and what choices you really want to think about moving forward. Let's talk about buying a brand new home in the Villages. Today, I bought during COVID. There was not many design your own home back then. But the homes did come with some features that they don't come with today. So you're not comparing apples and apples, it's oranges and apples if you purchased a few years ago and you're purchasing today. Some of the styles are very similar. They always come out with a few new styles every year, and they integrate those in. And the Villages does a great job. No complaints there. Now, this is my personal view. These are my personal recommendations, but things if you have this choice. If you're buying today from the Villages, there's a lot of the properties, the land. They have a lot that you can buy the lot and then design your own home. And they've even gone as far as it's no longer just premier homes and designer homes. Some cottages homes, they are allowing you to design your own on lots and on certain lots. You have to work with your Villages agents to figure out which ones of those. But I would seriously consider it is maybe something you want to do because of, I call it, the two major things they're leaving out of the new homes. New homes do not come with ceiling fans, and they do not come, at least of what I'll put it up on the screen, or blinds. Seems like they have taken that away. Now, they have done some positive things. I'm seeing a lot less laminate countertops and a lot more Korean type countertops. So there's a trade-off. But that really brings me to these. If you buy a pre-done home, they won't have these things. You'll have to add them later. And that can be costly. You got to have wiring. You got to have some of these other things that you got to take place. Now, I'm not one who's visited their design center. So some of these recommendations come from me. I know you probably can go to the design center, and it's kind of a priority for me. So let's start going with what I call the very first major item. First, I can't live without the ceiling fans. I come from New England. Air conditioning of those homes, the Villages, the units, they do a great job. I'm there most of the time in the summer when it's the hottest. And coming from New England, everybody's like, you can't stand it. Well, you can. The air conditioning is really good. But what I found is in every room, the living room, I'll put the fan on. It just adds a little comfort level that the air conditioner doesn't give you. The bedrooms, there's nothing like whether, if you've got a 3-bedroom house, they used to come, all 3 would have fans, ceiling fans, and it really does add. I don't know how many times in my office I would run the fan while shooting videos just to keep it that little bit cooler. The fans really are important. This is why you would want to design your own. This is the first reason I think is a major one. I even have a ceiling fan in my lanai. Every one of them gets used. Every one of these fans gets used a lot. I cannot believe I would like it as much without the fans. And it's just a simple thing, but I think you would really appreciate it. That would be my first upgrade. Blinds. Okay, you didn't get the standard ones that I got, which are great. Lasted me the 3 years, going into 4 years in the villages. Not an issue. They work great. But designing your own home, now you've got a blank slate. I know you could probably bring in somebody from outside, but you could add that to your list of what kind of blinds you want. It really then would be much easier doing it while they're building the home. The next area that I think is super important, and I got the base, it was kind of called the gold package, but if I were to look at the sinks and faucets, kitchen's important. I think as you get older, you spend more time in the kitchen. You know, you're preparing your own food, you're doing all that kind of stuff. The sink, the faucets, I would upgrade those to a really good quality stainless steel that works for you. And I like the sprayer hoses. Those are a big thing. Countertops. I've had it all. Laminate, granite, I've had it all. Spent a lot of money for granite. Not so sure I appreciate it as much as everyone else. I think Corian and these other alternatives in the middle are really good choices. I'm not so sure you need granite. That's really up to you. But I do like the kitchen faucets, you know, the kind with the sprayers and the different sprayers. I would upgrade those. But countertops, that's going to be a next big choice. The next area might be not the one you're thinking I'm going to say, but it's the laundry room. The utility sink. The standard utility sink that they put in, I would have a regular sink with a cabinet underneath. I would have a shelf above the washer dryer and cabinets above. I think it really changes that room in between. In most houses, it's from the garage to coming into either a hallway or it's behind a kitchen. It would make that room a lot better. A lot better. Those are some upgrades that I really think I would that room is, you go through it all the time and you don't want the laundry stuff and the cleaning stuff. You need cabinets in there. That's an upgrade that I clearly would do. And the utility sink, make it into a better sink. That's what I would do. Now, for the guys, this one, you know, I love the looks of the epoxy in the garage. And if you're going to do epoxy in the garage or on the lanai or do any kind of, this is the time to do it before you move. I'm going to tell you, I would love an epoxy, but I'm not going to do it at this point. Since I've already moved in, there's too much stuff. I'm not pulling it out of the garage and having it out of the garage for 2 or 3 days. It's way easier before you move in to hire people to go do it. I would do it if you're going to do it. Otherwise, it's one of those things I would move up on the list if you're going to do it. I think the epoxy is a great, nice look and a nice feature for the garage. Now, there's a lot that I didn't really get into, but here is some of the things that you would naturally do when you're designing your home. You know, I talked about the sinks and the countertop lighting. You know, how do you want your lights over the island? What's your dining room light? Like, I picked a house that was already pre-done, so I got their lighting fixtures. I like them, but there could be some improvements of under cabinet lights, maybe a different light above the dining room table. I might have liked something a little different. When you're designing your own home, you get that benefit. It's probably way easier. Kitchen cabinets, soft closed doors, lazy Susan, you get a lot of those choices. I think back when I purchased, that came with some of those, but it could be the packages and what they have. The next area that I would look at is the bathroom shower, the master bathroom shower. This really is where cost of homes separate a little bit. Usually a second bathroom, it's a regular tub shower. But in there, you got different levels of what you want the Roman shower to be like. I would take the time and take a really close look at it. The other thing is flooring, carpets, no carpets, tile. Those are some big choices that you get that you really should take some time to think about and do. So there's a lot of choices when designing your own home, and I haven't touched on half of them. But I'm highlighting the big ones that I would really look into. Some of these new homes that you're looking at, maybe you just make some of these upgrades and you say, that's good. And you do some of the stuff later. But they're allowing for a lot more of this design. It's going to cost a little bit more, but you're going to get what you want. Maybe worthwhile to talk to your agent, thinking about, maybe I should figure out exactly the style home I want. And then let's go to the design center and start talking, what are we talking from a pre-built, ready to go, to designing my own, how much difference it would be. I think that would be a well worth effort to do ahead of time, because I think you'll get some of these things rather than thinking about changing them later. Whether it's the appliances, whether it's any of those things that you might be able to get something different. I know some people don't like gas, they want electricity, electric stove. You know, those are all choices that you may have if you have one of these homes where a lot with your building on it. Now those decisions have to come quickly, and it happens quickly, but I thought I would put out, in 2025 there are a lot more home choices and a lot more homes that you can design many portions. Now it's limited. Villages doesn't let you do whatever, and you know, they have their own design center that you got to pick from. I think you'll get a much closer home to being perfect than a home that you, over the next few years, try to transition, which probably costs you more over time. This is a very different video. Hope you liked it. I ran through just some of these quick items, and catch you on the next one. If you liked it, let me know in the comments below if I'm missing some items that you think are higher priority. I didn't go into the exterior. I'm leaving the exterior. I'm one of those guys that maintenance free is what I'm after on the outside of the home. You start putting in a lot of stuff, you have a lot of stuff, it's expensive, and then you got to maintain it. Whatever that is, palm trees or whatever you want, I'm keeping away from that one. That one's some people love gutters. I don't think they put appropriate gutters on most of the homes. I don't know if you need them everywhere, but most people get gutters. Most people do a lot of different things. Water softener, I don't put those high on the list. The items I talked today, I put those high on the list over those other items, over the outside. The outsides look pretty good, house to house, even the basic. So thanks for watching again. Hope it didn't go on too long, and I really appreciate you watching, and see you in the villages.